tired, but we're pulling together, and we're making it. The main thing is Matt Cooper's he's doing all the fighting right now, and he's doing a good job at it. So he was moved over to Grady Hospital, where they're doing evaluations and assessments on him and on his condition to see what the next steps are going to be. We understand that surgery is in the future. We just don't know exactly when that's going to be or at what time at this point.
Are you able to talk about his injury specifically? What is he facing right now?
No, ma'am, I'm not. Other than nothing in particular, other than we understand that it's concerning around his carotid artery and the blood flow and the danger of the carotid artery, as we all know that is. But the technicalities of that, I don't know.
I know we've heard a lot about him and what a good police officer he was. Can you tell us a little bit more about just him and his service here in Covington?
Sure. You made the comment that you've heard he's a good police officer. I would like to correct that and say he's an excellent police officer. We were just having a meeting just a little while ago, and I kind of made the comment that if you thought about the tactically sound police officer, the guy who understood good, safe tactics of how to approach a situation, how to handle himself, how to be prepared both physically and mentally, Matt Cooper's your man. He served our country in Afghanistan and Iraq in combat situations. He served on our ESU Emergency Services Unit team here, and he's actually part of a two-man sniper team that's competed internationally against military units from all around the country and finished 15th, being the top sniper team from law enforcement in the world. The man is what you would consider a cop's cop. He's a protector. He's a professional. And probably if anybody was prepared to struggle and fight through this type of injury, Matt Cooper's your man.
Can you talk about his condition? Is he awake and able to speak to family? I mean, have you spoken with him?
I've spoken to him, but he hasn't responded back to me yet. But he has. We have put it out on our Facebook through social media to us that he did speak to, or his wife. He did speak that he loves his wife, and the nurse asked him, "Did you say you loved your wife?" And he nodded his head. He is responsive to requests of moving hands or limbs, his feet or whatever. He is in some ways conscious and alert of what's going on in that way, but he's in and out, and he's heavily sedated on that. But those are obviously promising signs that he's able to respond. And he's in very serious condition, but he's about as stable as he can be, and given all the severity of his wounds.
Could you talk a little bit about the outpouring of support? I know you guys have had even contacted by people all over the country at this point.
Right. Yeah. I can't begin to explain. As a matter of fact, I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if I understand myself the outpouring of support from not only the city of Covington or Newton County, but from the outpouring of support from the state of Georgia and around this country. I actually got a email last night from the president's, one of the president's staffers in the White House, asking specifically by name how Officer Matt Cooper was doing in his family. So I've had police chiefs from around the country, citizens from across this country reach out to us just to see how we're doing, how Matt's doing, how his family's doing. And I can't express how warm-hearted that makes us feel to know that what men and women do, pin this badge on every day, are very appreciated. We're very appreciated in this country, more so than I think we realize sometimes.
You talked about people reaching out. How can someone contact the police department if I want to donate for his medical bills or just support the department? How can I do that?
Right. Well, there are several ways, but the main one is the Covington Police Department has the Covington Police Who Care, which is a 501c3 program, and we've set up an account at Newton Federal Bank here in Covington, and I think that information is on our Facebook page, where you can go to the Covington Police Department Facebook page, and I believe that's being shared by many people. So I don't think it'd be really hard to find, and you can make a donation there, or you can bring it by the police department here. And we appreciate everything. We've had a great outpouring of support in that. People are bringing money by here, taking money to the bank, and our Police Who Care Fund is something that we work really hard to do to be able to help. It was originally started for this type of situation, to help a police officer, one of our own, who might be injured in the line of duty. We never dreamed it would be in the severe type situation. But over the years, our account has grown, and This Saturday is our 35th anniversary of the Covington Police Department's Fuzz Run, and we were celebrating 35 years of that and being able to fund our police who care, which helps us do things in this community. And so this weekend we're going to dedicate the 35th anniversary of the Covington Fuzz Run to Officer Matt Cooper. And we know that people want to come out and they want to show their support. There's some things that are going to occur in this community over the next couple of days. You'll probably see those announcements that are not of the Covington Police Department's making, but just organic from the city and from the community. But Saturday morning during our 5K Fuzz Run, if you want to come out and support Matt Cooper, come out and be with us, be a part of us. The family at the Covington Police Department, we're going to move forward, but we're going to move forward Matt foremost in our mind.
Have you ever experienced anything like this before, your own officer being shot like this?
No, ma'am. Nope. I've been chief almost 21 years and almost 32 years of service, and I really hoped I was going to get through it without having to face something like this. It's been challenging. Nothing you do in your career prepares you for this, other than I think the trusting in and watching and seeing the fine men and women that wear the Covington Police badge and how they do the things that they do has made my job a whole lot easier, because I knew that they knew what they were doing. And right along with that, I also need to make the comment that not only the Covington Police Department acted professionally and efficiently in what they did, I think the officers on the scene probably were critical to saving Matt's life at that moment, but also the Covington Fire Department, Newton County EMS, and the Covington Newton County 911 Center. All of those entities worked together under trying conditions because the man was still in the woods with a gun. Nobody knew exactly where he was at the time, and they were able to do their duty, be safe, and do the best that they could to save Matt's life, and I think it all worked, and it worked like a well-oiled machine. I got there just before we put him on the helicopter, and I watched all those entities interacting, and it's something that this community needs to be proud of, the high level of professional public safety service that I saw that day. They were prepared.
And I apologize, this is a little repeat, but what can you tell us about how Officer Cooper is doing right now that he's being transferred to Grady?
What we know now is he's still, stable condition in that, but he's very, very critical, obviously. But he's being evaluated by the Grady staff so that they can, we know that obviously there's going to be some surgery in the very near future. We don't know yet when that's going to be. I think Grady staff is evaluating his injuries from their perspective and what their abilities are. And hopefully we'll know soon, what their next steps are.
How's his family holding up?
They're tired, but I think they're holding up very well. His wife is very, very obviously concerned, but I think when he spoke to her this morning, that uplifted her. His parents and her parents are very close, and they're very surrounded by many of their friends, many of their family members and church members from the Covington First Baptist Church. Have just really wrapped a blanket of warmth and love around them, and I think that their Christian beliefs, their Christian support is in this community is going to help them pull through it, give them comfort.
You said Officer Cooper spoke with his wife this morning?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
So he's alert?
Not alert, but he did come out enough. He's in a medicated state, and everything, but he did come out enough that he was able to tell his wife he loved her. And the nurse asked him, said, "Did you say you love your wife?" And he nodded his head. So he's able to respond and do some things.
Did you say anything to him when you were there earlier?
I just, voiced my support to him. I don't know if he heard me or not, but, we're hoping that he's catching all the voices that are talking to him here and there. And we have an officer posted 24/7 with him, and we're doing everything we can to make sure that the family's needs and Officer Cooper's needs are met to the fullest extent that our department is capable.
You said you've had a lot of community outreach. Have you had law enforcement from surrounding agencies reach out to you and offer to help during this time? Because I know your officers are busy trying to handle this.
Yes, absolutely. We probably could have sent every police officer home, and every agency in Georgia would have come up here and answered calls for us, but we didn't need to do that. Our officers are prepared, and we were able to make some adjustments and do the things that we need to do. But yes, every agency in the surrounding area across the state, GBI, Georgia State Patrol, even agencies from outside the state of Georgia have reached out to us to let us know that they're praying for us and that they're here to help us in any manner, in any way that they can.
Chief, what do you learn from this?
I'm sorry?
What do you guys learn from this, for this whole tragic, incident?
Well, I think we always have to go back and reassess, how we handle certain, situations. Whenever something happens that's not, that it results in somebody's injury, obviously we want to go back and make sure that we train and try to minimize those situations. But I think the biggest thing that we learned is that, and I said it a little earlier, is that the community support and outreach for this police officer in this department show me that, the public loves and cares for law enforcement. That they know it's a tough job and we're not always treated fairly. But a man got up to go to work that day. The only thing he did was go to work, just like each and every one of y'all do. Get up and go to work. And he was seriously critically injured for doing his job.
I see the emotion there. It's
Yeah.
tough to keep that in sometimes.
Very much so. Because, as I say, we don't do this for the paycheck. We do it because we love it. And many of us feel like we're protectors, and Matt Cooper is one of those protectors. Not only does he defend this community every day, he defended this country overseas. And I think we were talking about it, if you ask Matt Cooper what else would he want to do, I just don't think there's anything else Matt Cooper could do or would want to do. So I think we've learned that the community does care and loves for us, and that we need that sometimes. Yes, ma'am.
Can you talk about the strength that you may have witnessed in Officer Cooper to be where he is right now, to have survived?
Sure. I think one of the interesting things about Officer Cooper, and I said this in a meeting just a little while ago, not only does he have a tactical superiority, he understands, the art and the craft of being a counter sniper tactically on a SWAT type situation or just on a traffic stop. He understands the tactics of being a law enforcement officer. But you can also catch that smile of how he can talk to a young child or make somebody feel at ease at what they're doing. He's the guy that you would want to show up at your mom's house at 2 o'clock in the morning to help her if she needed it. But on the same sense, and a lot of people don't realize this, Matt's also a paramedic. He's a trained EMT. And he knows not only how to show up and protect your life, but he also can save your life. And I think that survival instinct of understanding what was going on, what people were trying to do to help him in his time of need, I think was very important. I think critical. I think his mindset is critical that he was going to survive this situation, and so far he's doing it. And I believe it's because Matt's that strong of an individual.
What does the investigation look like at this point? What are you all trying to determine? I know there's a few unanswered questions. It seems like a bizarre series of events
Sure.
that led to this, almost unnecessary, really. What does that investigation look like?
I really can't comment on the investigation at this time because obviously when it's involving our own officer, our protocols are to turn it over to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, let them do the scene, and being a department of our size, we need all the help that we can get. So they stepped in and they're taking over the investigation. So I would ask you to direct those type of questions towards the Georgia Bureau of Investigation.
What do you say to the community, the Covington community out there? They're praying for Officer Cooper. Of course, some people are mourning the loss of a man from an apparent suicide. What do you say to all those people?
Well, I think that I have to say thank you, obviously, to the community because they're uplifting the support, for everyone involved, and we just need to remember that it's a tragedy all the way around. There's no good part of it other than Officer Cooper, who, like I said, got up to go do his job that day, is struggling right now. We want him to pull through it. But our job is out here to protect life, to try to do the things we can. It's always a tragedy when somebody's life is lost, and we just want everybody to know that now our focus is on let's don't double up this tragedy. Let's get Matt through this. Let's help him survive this. Help his family.
What do you want to say to people coming to the bus ride this weekend?
Well, I just want to tell them to come on out. It's a serious time. We might not can let our guard down because we're worried about our fellow officer. But it's a community event. It's one of the largest community events Covington has in its calendar year, and this is our 35th year. But we want people to come out, and we want people to honor men like Matt Cooper and others that have been injured in the line of duty or maybe even given the ultimate sacrifice. Come out And you don't have to run, you don't have to walk, you can just come out and be, we have a lot of other activities go on during the day. Come out and show your support. We're gonna try to do a couple of special things just in his honor during the Fuzz Run, and I think it'd be a great community event to show our support and show Matt and his family everyone cares.
Will you be going back to the hospital?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I'll be heading back up this afternoon, this evening sometime. So we're back and forth. Already been there once today. So.
Does his fight inspire you?
Yes, ma'am. I think it inspires all of us. You know, I learned in the police academy almost 32 years ago that, you know, if you get injured in the line of duty and you think that you're going to die, you probably will. But if you think that you'll survive it, you can. If your mind is set and you believe that you're going to pull through this, and I've always carried that with me in my personal life, that I'm going to survive anything that I can. I'm going to push through it and make it. Well, guess what? Matt Cooper's doing that, and I'm standing back in awe watching that young man do that, and I'm humbled by watching the strength of that young man. It inspires all of us, I think.